Hello and welcome to another episode of Chaos in London. And as we lay our scene today once more in the interdimensional hell that is the Crossroads, a bar in a metaphysical space with a door that leads into it from London. And two mages are once again popping at the bar and making idle small talk. Going about their weighty and important magical business.
Adib is there taking a drink out of something. God knows what it is. I'm sure if he mentioned his home drink, like if he mentioned a drink he vaguely remembered having in his homeland to the bartender, from what I understand, the bartender would not only know how to make it, but he'd make it right. Am I right, Joey?
Probably.
Excellent. And he will tip the bartender with a nice... Well, no, I won't, because I gave those away. I'm sorry. Anyways, he looks over at Sophia and then glances towards where the gods are usually playing poker.
Okay. So Sophia is again sat at one of the tables on the higher up level, probably playing with her phone and thinking about reflecting on things.
But Deep's actually going to get up and approach her.
Hello again.
Sophia?
Deep?
I was just about to go and attempt to speak to these... what would the appropriate word be? Our resident divinities?
Yes. If you mean the Egyptian ones, they do have a particular name for that, which escapes me right now.
I do not believe I was specifically speaking to just one of them, but what is the name, just out of curiosity?
Sure. What's the term that they use? I've forgotten.
For the Egyptian gods,
What begins with A?
they call them the Niger.
Yeah, that's a good show. Yes. Well, there's the Niger, which we call them a family. That's what the gods of Egypt.
Interesting.
Or I assume it would be the Asir for the gods of the north.
Well, whichever ones I speak with, I will need to... Do you think... That device of yours, does it know the stories of these gods? I know precious little.
You can look up some stories, whether they're particularly good, authentic versions of the stories is another matter.
This is true. Legend is...
I do pull up a seat while we talk. Which gods would you like to know about? Well,
the most...
Some learning about some of them.
The most relevant would be gods of... gods of knowledge or magic itself, if there are such things.
Oh, there are. I mean, the most famous is probably Thoth, who I met a little while ago. Thoth is the Egyptian god of the scribe of the gods, the god of language and writing.
That would definitely qualify. And he is of the Niger, you said?
Yes. Though he's often identified with Hermes of the Greeks and Romans.
Are they two separate entities, or is that simply another name for him?
I'm not quite sure. They often get... The Romans like to identify their gods with the gods of all the other peoples they conquered.
Interesting.
They would then worship the same gods, so the natives were less likely to rise up.
Does that have anything to do with that Stargate movie I was told to watch?
That does vaguely reference the Egyptian gods, yes.
I'll have to see if I can find someone in my camp who knows anything of that.
So,
Yeah.
here we are, Throth, depicted with an ibis, some sort of bird head. Symbols: the papyrus scroll, the reed pen, the writing palette, the scales.
Is this a different god, or is this also Thoth?
Throth. It's quite important. He's wife of Maat, who is the god of balance.
That is very reassuring. I was almost hoping to ask about gods of justice.
So, yeah, I suppose that would be the obvious one. You could offer gods of magic in the Egyptian pantheon. So he's identified with Hermes, who is the messenger for the Greeks and the Romans.
And you said there, yes, and I believe we all met this Hermes in one form or another when he visited during that tribunal.
Yes. Hermes, I know, wears many hats. He's also their trickster god.
Interesting.
The god of
They called for a trickster god at the Tribunal of Justice. That is interesting.
Well, he's the god of I think if I can stand it, he's the messenger, but that also makes him the god of movement and breaking of boundaries. Whether that means a wizard breaking the boundaries of reality, or whether that means thieves breaking the boundaries of property.
And the boundaries of society.
Quite. Curiously, also the god of bankers. Which might tell us that they had a low view of bankers even back then.
Ha. So that is one to look for from the Najir. What about these Aesir you mentioned? Do they have a god of magic or knowledge?
I'm less up on them. Let me think. Well, they have the father of their gods, Odin. I think in some versions he sacrificed an eye to gain magical knowledge of the runes, which he then gave to mankind, which is their alphabet.
Unfortunately, is he not now dead, or at least has been diminished?
Yes, you're right. No, yes, thinking about it, yes, we did hear he'd been slain. Is there anyone else in the pantheon? Not really my field, I'm afraid, on that one. It probably is.
I am hesitant to consider it, but no, the direct path is most likely best.
There would also be there's also the Celtic pantheon of these islands.
The locals, then, that would be, they would presumably hold some sway. Which ones would be appropriate there?
There was, I think they had a character called, well, there was an individual called Ogham who again gave humans the Ogham script, a form of rune writing they use in Ireland, and there would also be, I think, Math, who is a wizard of the gods. Again, not my field, I'm afraid. Just let me think it over.
Well, the agreement I have bartered with them for now is likely to be limited in scope, but if it is a productive bargain, then perhaps I will be able to speak with them again and find sufficient tribute. I still have to make tribute today. It is appropriate.
So you're seeking help with magic explicitly?
Yes, I have asked them to bequeath some knowledge of the ancient ways. Magic that is arts that are practiced by others. I would not call them simpler necessarily, but I do not know a word for it. It is still an art to me, but it is a different art, if that makes sense.
No, you mean
It is not awakened magic. They would appear as mortals.
Ah, okay. Yes, see, some of us, we use magic with a K to mean what we do, and magic without a K to mean what they do.
How do you see this when you are speaking?
Yeah, I think there can be a subtle emphasis on pronunciation if it's relevant. Magic rather than magic.
Well, I will see. If you wish, perhaps you would come with. And
if you sell the company, certainly.
well, if nothing else, if it goes badly, you can always take my ashes back.
I had a favourable dealings with Throth, if that's who you're looking for.
OC, I think it was Thoth I dealt with last time. Joey might remember. I didn't write down the one I initially contacted, I don't think. Let me double check. If Joey remembers, that's awesome. If not, I will hopefully have it written down here, but no guarantee.
If I remember correctly, you talked to Mr. O. He didn't give you a name. Other than that.
That works. Oh, in that case, he's just going to ask, is there a Mr. O as a god? That seems like a very strange name, but I know little of your ways.
Mr. O? Was that?
Yes, that was...
Well, I might have said that's kind of a reference to Odin.
But he is dead.
Yes.
Or diminished for now. I assume that from what I had thought, I did not believe gods could die. They could simply be... Well, as long as they are believed in or their stories persist, they cannot truly die. That is my hope.
As far as I know, in all the stories of the Romans and Greeks, they only have a single story where one of their gods actually dies. And that's not to say they're actually dead, of course, but certainly, given many of the gods have many stories of their birth and creation, and many stories that contradict, yet there is only a single account of a death.
And I did not write it down, by the way, so let's go with Mr. O. Yeah. Sorry. Ooh. Well then.
So, just think for a moment. Okay, how it's not entirely clear. So you had a prior arrangement with them, have you? Is this you completing the deal?
Yes. I was asked to give them specific, well, it is a trade, knowledge for knowledge. But I, of course, on top of that, when dealing with deities, proper homage should be paid, in my opinion. One should not trespass upon their time idly, nor fail to show them respect.
It seems prudent to show respect to any powerful being, and to not waste their time.
Indeed.
I think you may find that different traditions have different views on the level of and the form of respect to show a spirit.
I would never call them simply spirits. They may be of a similar make to them, but they are orders above them.
Would you say that a vizier or a king is simply orders above a peasant, or are they of a different quality?
Both.
Then perhaps it's the same with these gods, that they're both spirits of just simply a higher order and also of a different quality.
I would still be concerned that the term may be disrespectful, but it is perhaps different in your tongue. In any case, if you wish to come with, he's gonna get up and he's got that small bowl again, Joey. You know, the bowl he used for his sacrifice last time. Except this time, he's going to do a bit more than that.
Okay.
He's going to approach the gods, and he'll stop a good, I would say, not quite 10 feet before their table. Proper petitioning distance. And is just like, he's not even going to like raise a hand or try to get their attention. He's just going to get down, not kneel like kneeling to a king, but like, kneel forward on his knees, essentially. Put the bowl in front of himself, and he's going to begin dumping quintessence, like as he begins burning a small ritual offering. And I am going to drop 10 quintessence on this, because I've got it.
All right.
And would you like me to make any rolls or simply go with that?
Should
I mean, there's no rolls to dump quintessence. I mean, like, if you want me to do a charisma expression roll or anything else.
No, you're good. So you're burning it. You're like burning the offering to give out the quintessence, right?
Essentially, yes. But in this case, instead of drawing it from the sacrifice itself, he's drawing it from his own essence. Like, okay, I've got 12 points. I'm dumping 10 into this while it sacrifices.
Okay. So, the smoke goes out. They inhale and everything.
I mean, last time you only dumped like 2 points or something to them. It's like...
And... Sorry, my brain's not working.
It's all good, man. Take your time.
And the one sitting closest to you guys, I'm gonna pull up his picture. And I got his picture in here somewhere. He looks over at you and says, "Did you gain what we asked?"
I have.
And he'll just nod to Adib to approach.
He will do so, and because secrets are meant to be whispered and not shouted across a table, if he is permitted to get close enough, we'll lean in and whisper all 3 secrets, which will take some time. Not like hours or anything, just like minutes, I assume.
And he'll nod. And then we'll look at 2 of the others at the table. One is a dark-haired, Mediterranean-looking man who just looks up and smiles and then winks. And the other is a thinking how best to describe her, like a Middle Eastern woman with kind of dressed up, like she's got eyeliner and she's wearing a fancy dress and everything, and she just kind of sighs and nods. And then he looks to Adib and says, "Was there any knowledge in particular you wanted? In specific?"
Kind of. OC, he'd specifically... Okay, OC, to specify, he had gone into it at length before, basically saying, like, knowledge of magic that mortals could practice, etc., etc. He's trying to spread the knowledge of the ancient ways. They're asking specific, like, what kind of magic?
Yes, what specific kind of knowledge of magic you would like? Like, what kind of magic knowledge? AKA, are you okay with me just giving you free
picking shit at random, or
you want me to pick shit at random, or do you have specific stuff that you'd like to learn? AKA,
he's going to think. He's going to go with what he himself is familiar with and say, I would say the ability to create items of use, such as I have been doing. He displays the rings that he's got on and the ones in his pockets and so on. If there is knowledge of that, then that would be most helpful.
All right.
Also, perhaps with all the disease and sickness that I have seen, healing?
And the dude nods again. He just looks at the other two. The woman kind of tilts her head from side to side and says, "Very well." And she snaps her finger. The Mediterranean-looking dude just kind of chuckles and says, "I'll add a little something of my own if you can provide the first thing he asked for, Mr. O." And he winks at him. Then he snaps his fingers. And
so essentially it's the two things I specified, and now I'm going to get a random.
pretty much.
Oh, joy.
And Mr. O smiles, reaches over, and taps Adib on the side of his head. And Adib now has the knowledge necessary to teach the paths of... Okay. That was not the path I thought it was. So he has the knowledge of... Oh, where the fuck did this go?
Are you looking at Sorcerer Revised?
I'm just on the wiki for the names, and then because that way we can do all that other stuff. So he's got knowledge of to teach the path of conveyance, path of enchantment, and path of healing.
Awesome.
So those, however, mark down in your blue booking that you have a flaw. And you have multiple personality disorder, as the knowledge they're pumping into your brain comes with memories. Lovely. And as these memories are flooding Adib's brain, he realizes this is memories literally taken. This is knowledge taken straight from the heads of mortal sorcerers.
Were they worshippers of these gods?
He can't tell yet. The knowledge, all the memories are jumbled up and everything.
Cool. So I'll need to try to figure that shit out later. Perfect.
Yes.
How painful and/or traumatic is this?
Not painful, but I guess pretty. Nathan, I saw that. I guess it would be pretty traumatic to just have a bunch of memories flooding your brain all at once.
Oh God, yeah. I'm kind of wondering what Nathan's seeing now. I don't have either of those sites. Oh, I have Spirit Sight up, but I don't think that's going to tell me much right now.
Yeah. With Mind Sight, Sophia sees literally a flow of kind of mental energy almost going from the dude who tapped Adib on the side of the head into Adib.
It's like new coils of thought just started snarling around my brain. They're not mine. The voices are telling me things. He's going to reel somewhat and just try and steady himself and regain his composure. It might take a moment. He'll probably stumble because he's just really, nah. And he's just gonna think he just tilts his head slightly, some of those memories, even just seeing snippets of them for a half second, it's he knows that's not my memory. I don't remember that. Would you say that from what you're telling me, the impression I'm getting is that the information he wanted is somewhat carefully compartmentalized, and he can teach that. That's convenient for him to access. But there's all these other memories that are scattered between that might occasionally get in the way or may have just been dragged along for the ride.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. Because you can't just snip out that. You have to snip out all the stuff that came with it. That's how memory seems to work. Okay, he's just going to be he looks after he's recovered a couple maybe 30 seconds later, he just looks at all three of them and I'm trying to think of the appropriate thing he would do here. Bear with me. He's probably just going to, for lack of a specific, he's going to actually just like, he's going to actually kneel again and bow and just be like, thank you. Like, he's not just saying that to be polite. He's like, you have given me what I need. That's the attitude behind it. Like, this is more than he could have hoped for.
And Mr. O just nods and then goes back to his poker game.
All right. Taking that to mean that he has been dismissed from their divine presence, he quietly gathers up his bowl and backs away.
Sophia was keeping a respectful distance behind him and spots with him. Do you feel okay?
Different. There is much I did not know. There are memories. I have memories. They are not mine.
Oh.
But they are what I needed.
But you can tell you from those memories.
For the moment, they do not see. I am still Adib. I understand that, but there are a lot of memories, and they are somewhat jumbled.
Well, perhaps
I will. I'm sorry.
Sit down and you can compose your thoughts. Joey, does he look like he's actually possessed?
No.
No. Okay.
He does not.
It's not active ghosts or spirits inside his head. Okay. Well, okay. Well, it seems to be just you in there. So was this
sorry, go ahead.
Was this what you were hoping for?
Yes. This is exactly what I needed. This is... They have given me the knowledge I need to impart. Teaching it will be its own challenge and hurdle, but it is what I needed.
Have you got experience as a teacher?
I do not know, but I will do whatever is needed. By the way, Joey, what level of flaw are we talking for MPD?
Like a 2-dot flaw, 2-point flaw.
Okay.
It's not overpowering,
Not
but it'll pop up like on occasion, when the memories overpower him, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Times of stress and so on and so forth, probably. Okay. I'll do some research on it, try and play it out well. He's just going to look once he's over, at a table and back to his drink. He's going to just look at Sophia and be like, they asked me, as you heard, of what kind of knowledge I wished. There are 3 paths now that I understand. They are taught by different people, but it is... The knowledge is there, but translating, like, I know the meaning of everything. I have their memories. I can understand them as they understood them. If it is something they could have done, I would know how to do it now, whether or not I actually can. But
as I understand it, it's normally very difficult for us to work as they did. Once we've seen how things really... We've acquired a depth of knowledge that stops us operating at a simple shallow level.
Most likely, yes, that sounds right. But I will... It is... I'm less worried about whether it works or not, and more It is.
Well, I mean,
I will have to be very careful.
these things may take a while to teach. If these are, well, perhaps you have memories of being a teacher now. That may be useful, but
Or at least of learning it. But it will. I am sure it will take much time. That is learning. The few memories I still have mostly feature me in a dusty room studying tomes. So I can imagine it must take time if it took me time to reach the point where I am at now. I can only imagine it is similar for them.
By the sound of it, you already have students in mind. Are they capable mentally?
They may be. If they pass their tests, then yes.
Well, it sounds like you've made an important step forwards in your plan. And yeah, I think it's certainly commendable what you're doing. You're putting the effort into to train. I don't know what would be the best term. Hedge wizards. I think that's rather disparaging.
They will practice the art in their own way, whether it is as I do or in a way that is their own. But
magicians, shall we say?
That is a fair term, I suppose.
Yes, I mean, Is there anything else you need to pursue this now? Is it a question of resources or time or money or students?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, OOC?
Is there anything else that you need to move this forwards? Is it a question of time or resources or money or students or?
At this point, I will need to find more students and begin making the place where I am safer for teaching. Right now, there are many people there, and not all of them would be, I assume, amenable to seeing the truth. But some are now, and I am sure there will be others.
Okay.
Yeah, but I must teach the ones that I have a little knowledge before I extend to more. My plan is, if I can teach a bare minimum of knowledge to prevent them from harming themselves, then they can assist me in teaching the others that knowledge while I teach them more. They will have less time to learn, but more time to teach.
I think you're essentially setting up a school.
Sorry, you cut out there.
You're setting up a school in its own way. You're training the teachers to then.
I suppose so. To use the term that you use, though, I would say more of a war camp. None of the abilities I have been taught would be used directly to. It is not. Well, I do not believe. I can tell you this much. One of the things that I have been taught is the art of healing. Which if you have seen the poor folk of this city, you would understand that may be the most valuable path of all for them.
Yes, that has obvious value to those in need. And as I'm sure you've figured out, any active ability to demonstrate something is useful. It demonstrates that the arts work.
Yes. I can do the same, though it causes some pain. I gladly take this. Also, my Jinn is capable of doing some as well, but he is costly. His services do not come cheap. It was actually rather comical to prove what I had to these men that I spoke with. when I first met them, I created a chair. You have seen how I create things. I
Yes.
draw the shape and form, and then pull it into existence. I make it real. They thought it was a fine trick, but a trick they could not understand. However, I told them that it was true, and I believe I must have been somewhat convincing. I convinced them that they would, in some time, I would show them again, and I did. I let them choose where I would create it, had them choose what I would create, and then made it for them again. I had to have the assistance of my djinn, but it was it was not the most inventive creation. They asked for a full table set, 4 more chairs and a table. But it seemed to convince them, however.
Yes, and as you say, people who learn these magician's arts can they can do what they can do repeatedly, more easily. They can perform on demand if needed.
That sounds very useful. I did not know that, actually.
They do not have the same problems that we do because they're operated at a more simple level. I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Suppose. Yes. Suppose. Suppose a person was injured in battle. I mean, a skilled doctor would do all manner of complicated, correct procedures to try to treat them, and in that process, they would probably get their hands covered in blood. However, their comrade in battle, who knows only a little, the most basic things that they've learned by rote, they know how to wrap a bandage. They don't know exactly why that way is the best. They don't understand the complexities and the details, but they can wrap a bandage and that will do some good. And they're much less likely to get it catastrophically wrong, or get too much blood on their hands in the process.
I just had a thought. I do not wish to seem as if I was not paying attention, but it just clicked while you were speaking. You said there was, of the local gods, there was one named Ogham?
Named? Which name?
Ogham?
Yeah, I believe so.
Could that not be Mr. O, potentially?
A bit. Yes, no. Ogmar was his name. Ogham was the name of the script he gave. Got a speech and language.
My apologies, I misheard.
No,
still,
it's not my area.
If he does not wish his name known or does not wish to be addressed by it, that is his business. But I simply thought that might be him then. I'm sure there are many gods whose names could be attributed to him.
You're quite right. That's quite possible. Irish, Scottish mythology. Carries a club or wears a bear skin or some kind of animal skin. It looks a bit like Hercules almost. But I think he gave the Ogmar script. OGMA, Ogmar. No. Sometimes that's an H in modern spelling. So that would be Mr. O. What were the other names?
I did not receive the other names. However, I will remember their faces. And perhaps in time, if it is possible that the memories that I have been given were from their worshippers, in which case I might eventually learn by studying their memories. But that would require time, and I am concerned that immersing myself too much in their memories might be dangerous. But I do not know. It is I will have to study it at length. I have been told that I should try to master the basic skill of my own mind, but I have been studying other things, and now I will have much more on my plate.
Oh, your mind is not shielded.
Mindsight, you know that.
Yes. Yeah, I'd be polite.
Oh, sorry. In character, he's just like. In character, he's just like, no, I do not have that skill.
Well, I mean, it may be prudent to arrange for someone else to put up a mind shield for you.
Much as I wish to be self-sufficient, I suppose that there is some benefit to be had from that, especially since now I have knowledge that is not truly, well, it is given to me, but, or at least loaned for this purpose, but yes, but who would be able to do such a thing?
I know one or two people. Let me speak to them.
Very well. If there's anything I can do in return, an item that needs to be created, or gold to be created, or anything, or something my Jinn or I could do, or something. I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement, whoever it is. But yes.
Okay. Well, I'll speak to people and see if we can arrange that.
And Joey, is there any other plot it's coming its way, or are we waiting for more people, or just curious?
It's pretty much a social at this point. I mean, it's still technically plot because plot stuff happened, but there's no more.
Oh yeah, it still counts as a plot scene.
Yeah.
So if anyone walks in now, I wonder if it would count as social. Nah, it's still
count as plot.
Okay. Maybe if we dangle that, everyone will jump in. Ooh, 3 XP.
Whoa! Do you want to bring in prosperity?
Sure.
Because I think
Why
that
not?
was something to discuss.
I mean, might as well get that benefit. You ran the thing, so you should get the benefit off of it.
If I can find my Hong Kong folder. Actually, what am I saying? This is the wrong overlay.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, so Prosperity walks in, sipping what looks like a Starbucks chai latte. Which you didn't even think they made those, but evidently they do. And she sees Sophia and just waves at her.
Yes. Pass back, nods.
And not to the gloriously dressed Arabic gentleman? Shock.
She's going to head over to their table.
Good to see you again.
Adib will nod politely.
Hi, Sophia. Hey, Adib. How are you guys doing?
He looks hesitant, like, But hey, I mean, he knows she's one of their people, so he just kind of shrugs and goes, visiting with the local divinities. Or at least I was.
We were just discussing. Adib is sadly without a mind shield, and we were wondering if it would be useful for him to get someone to help him with that.
That would probably be a good idea. Yes.
First, I would have to find someone willing to do so, with the ability to do so, and then negotiate some sort of payment or favor.
Well, it just so happens. Do you know anyone who could do that prosperity?
Yeah, I could probably put a mind shield on him.
What would you wish for this?
She kind of thinks for a second, and she says, "Well, what can you do?"
What rings you've been making recently?
I don't think I have. No.
By all means, he will take of the 5 rings in his possession. He's wearing 3. 1 stays on. He'll take the others off and pull them out. There are a total of 4 rings. I have a special spot on my character sheet for this, or on the thread, anyways. I have to make it easier to read later. Note to self. Okay, there's 4 rings. One of them is let's see. Got it. Okay. There is a ring that are you looking at with Prime Sight, or are you just looking at it?
She's just looking at him. She doesn't have any sights up.
Okay. There's a garnet ring, an emerald ring, a topaz ring, and a obsidian ring. Like, that's the gemstones. They're all made out of the same rough substance.
She'll point to the emerald ring and says, "Can I look at this one?"
Of course. And he hands it to her. Prime Sight.
And she'll just pick it up, turn it around on her finger, slip it on, see how it fits on her finger. And then I'm assuming when she puts it on, that's when the Prime Sight pops.
Yep.
She just kind of goes,
Constantly.
"Oh, well, that's interesting." And she'll slide it off and set it back down on the table.
It comes in handy. I have had little cause to use it yet, but the red one can make you a little nauseous, but it is somewhat useful. I wear it regularly.
Interesting. So you can make one of these rings for me in return for me putting a mind shield on you.
Yes, if it is something that is within my power, I can imbue it into a ring, reasonably speaking. It would take me some time and effort. The effort I have available and the time, but there's also the matter of energy, and I have just devoted most of my power for the meeting I had with the gods. It might take me... he thinks... This is as good a place as any, actually, to create it, but I do not wish to do any major workings here anymore. I created those gauntlets, and that was generous of them not to take umbrage at my casting minor magics in here. I will have to create it later, but if you have a particular style or gemstone that you prefer, and you can show it to me, I can likely create it. Creating the ring itself is far easier than imbuing it, but I can do that as well. It will simply take some time.
And she nods and she says, "Okay, well, that'll definitely work. I'm in no hurry." Do you know what an amethyst looks like?
The word I do not know.
And she'll pull up a picture of an amethyst on her phone.
Yes.
Show it to him. Perfect.
I assume you're talking purple amethyst, right?
Yep.
Okay. And what would you want this ring to do?
Well, I mean, what sort of things can you make them do? I don't quite know your capabilities.
There are the 4 here. You have tried one of them. Other than the effects that are currently in these rings, I could also make... I suppose I could... let me think. I could attempt to make a ring that allows you to see or feel the finer works of materials, to just know their composition, how they are made, what they are. I have not made such a ring myself yet. I was meaning to do so, but I could always make that for someone else as well, and then make one for myself later. But by all means, try the others to be quicker than my trying to explain it.
And she'll nod and she'll try on the others. Do any of them give spirit sight?
Yep. That would be the garnet ring? No, sorry, no. The garnet ring's the nauseating one. Okay, so the garnet ring is spatial awareness, 360-degree field of vision, effectively. Like, it's not vision 360 degrees, it's more like awareness of things in your vicinity. Like, basic spatial sense.
Yeah.
Which can be kind of disorienting because we're not meant to work that way. The prime sight ring you already did, that's the emerald one. The aura sight ring is topaz yellow. And there is a fourth ring, which is spirit sight and spirit speech, though you might not know that putting it on. That one is obsidian.
And after she tries them all on, she'll set them down and say, "Could you replicate the effect on this obsidian one in the ring?"
Yes, that one is. I would give you that one to take now, but it would take me. That is one that I wear regularly as well. I will see what I can do about making a second one. And you wanted to have an amethyst, you say?
Yes, please. I'm in no rush, so feel free to take your time.
Of course. It may take me a couple days, at most a week, but it should be done.
And she smiles and says, "Perfect.
If anything comes up, I'll make sure to let you know there's been a delay, but it should come shortly."
Perfect. Now, would you like to come back to my place for me to put this mind shield on, or are you comfortable with me doing that here?
I have no objections to here. If the proprietors themselves do not mind, which I don't believe they mind minor workings such as that.
True.
Plus, it's coincidental magic in the Umbra. Yay.
Well, to be fair, my shields are always,
but
she'll just say, "All right, give me just a little bit," and she will head off for 5 minutes to the bar to get an ice cream bowl and something like a spoon or something. She comes back, sits it on the table, reaches into her little purse and pulls out. She's gonna pull out a stick of celery, and I need to go to my resources thing so I can tell you exactly what she pulls out. She pulls out a stick of celery and a a stick that, if you know anything about botany, you can identify as a ash branch. And what else? She also pulls out a thing of basil leaves. And there should be one more. I just got to find it on here. Sorry, I just need.
No problem.
Trying to find something that I know what it looks like so I can describe it. Most of the psychic powers ones are kind of weird plants. And she'll pull out a sprig of garlic, and she's gonna put them all in the bowl and take the spoon and start crushing them and mixing them. And as she's doing this, she's humming to herself. Just kind of not really a tune. It's more of just from what you can kind of tell, it's kind of how she focuses. She's humming to herself.
Sophia is going to start humming along with her, as in I'm assisting with the casting.
Come. Then she's going to take out 3 sunflower seeds from her bag, pop them in the mix, crush those in, and then take like a glass of water that she brought over, pour that in, and stir it. And she's going to hand the bowl to Adib. Drink this.
Yay.
Does he drink it?
Yep. Yes. Sorry. Sorry. Maybe that didn't go through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear. I just heard yay, and that's all. So I think it lagged on us. So
Okay.
that's base to 4 for sites, right? I can never remember like sites. Mine like 1 dot effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
If for coincidental magic, it is 3 plus the level of effect, so 4.
Or
Okay.
minus anything.
Though if you're doing if you're doing a mind shield to someone else, that requires mind 2. So it's actually
Okay.
base diff 6, or sorry, base diff 5.
And then
But then you can lower it by doing shit.
you've got like Foci you transcended, for example.
Well, see, it's already. So it starts at 4.
No, it starts at 5.
That's at 5.
That's 4, and then. Wait, if it's coincidental, it's plus 3. Okay, now I get you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's 3 plus the level, and it's mine 2, so 5. Minus
Alright,
1
so
for
that's-
yeah, you got it.
And she's just gonna spend 1 quint to lower it to 3.
Yeah. But is Quint only 1 roll or the whole ritual?
The way Tiger runs it, 1 roll affects the entire ritual.
1 Quint. Oh, that's
Or sorry, 1 quint affects the entire ritual.
that's super cheap. Okay.
I've told you about it before.
Yeah. Okay.
And she's gonna roll 1 more time at +1 def as an extended action.
Oh,
Remember, that means everyone can use it, including you and the NPCs. Double-edged sword. The enemies are really good at rituals.
So that's 5 successes. Now, which version of assisting is Sophia doing?
well, I've only got mind 1, so I think I add 1 success to every roll.
All right, so
We haven't gotten a call on that from Tiger so far because I haven't heard that being done. But there's 2 versions of that rule, 2 interpretations. The first one is that it adds 1 for every roll, and then there's the version, for example, they were using in other games, which was 1 for the entire ritual per enlightened assistant. So it doesn't it's not per roll. I personally prefer the 1 per roll. But
I don't know what's different because this is an extended action, not a proper ritual as well.
Mhm.
I suggest we get. I have blue booked the counting 1 per roll, and no one's objected. So
okay,
this is. So I should go with that. Fix it later, otherwise.
Yep, let's just go with that to make it easy.
Okay.
4.
So yeah, just prosperity makes her roll, and then just add a +1 success, assuming that you actually get successes. If you fail or botch, that illusory success vanishes.
So she got 4. So she got 7 successes. I'm just gonna put. I have to look at the time chart, and I fucking just closed my mage book.
It's 2 to kick off the effect, and then if you were to dump 5 into effect, that would actually give you, I believe. Shit, I had it open too. I just closed it.
Ian was using a strange other chart, but I believe it's 6 months for 5 successes.
No, I don't need casting magic. I need magical reference charts. So we, 4 successes is 6 months. 5 is storyteller's option.
Tiger has ruled that 5 successes can be interpreted to 1 year.
Okay.
So hang on. You've got a different chart to me. I'm looking at page 504.
504, optional dividing successes rule.
No, I mean the duration chart. 5 successes is 6 months.
No, look to the right of that. Optional dividing successes rule.
Oh.
You use 2 successes to kick off the effect, and then and that gives you a bare minimum of like functionality of the spell, and then any additional successes can be spent as you see there.
Okay, right. So I'd be using the chart on the left, not the chart on the right. Right. Okay.
So that would mean 2 to kick off, since it's a second sphere ability, and then 5 to duration, which could be 1 year. So that's a pretty nice long-term mind effect.
I mean,
Hooray.
But you need some successes to actually make it a shield.
yeah.
Well,
like,
the two kickoff just gives it a 1-2 effect, to be fair. So yeah, that's a pretty flimsy mind shield.
Did you
Should put 4 successes into duration and then the last success into effect.
Did you count my successes?
Yep, I did. You should 7 in total with your 2 from each roll.
Oh, I thought you were more than that.
Or 1 for each roll. Yeah, Shirley rolled. And so yeah, you have a +2 mind shield for the next 6 months.
Cool. I will note that down in my rituals.
And she will just say, that should hold for about half a year or so. If you need another one at that time, feel free to come over and I'll renew the spell.
Of course. And as I said, I will hopefully have your payment prepared shortly. I appreciate this.
No, it's no big deal. It's pretty minor service, honestly, so. Going to go sip down and sip on her Starbucks chai latte.
Yay. Adib is going to just kind of think and just be like, I will probably need to return to my area soon and see if I can begin making sense of some of this. 'Tis interesting. I received far more than I was hoping for, but I'm sure it will be some time before the effects are clear. In any case, I will have your ring shortly, and OC, I know the answer is haven't gotten any info yet, but I gotta ask in character. He's going to look over at Sophia. Have you had any luck with those coins?
No, I'm still waiting for the paperwork to go through, I think. Sadly.
Well, no rush. My immediate needs are taken care of, so.
One other question. You mentioned you're looking for more learners. If we happen to come across anyone suitable, would you like us to send them your way?
I would be interested in meeting them, certainly.
Okay, where should we send them? It's not that we can bring them here.
No. Perhaps a meeting in some neutral location to be arranged once you have someone in mind?
Okay, well, just if we happen to meet someone which has an interest. Are there particular attributes that you're looking for in a person?
As long as they are not simple-minded and have the ability to learn anything basic about the truth of magic. As long as they are willing to learn. That is the crucial part. Having to convince people to learn is much harder.
Okay, well, as I said, I'll bear it in mind in case I meet anyone.
Understood. I do not plan on remaining secluded for long. I hopefully will be able to find some way to assist others in this city. There seem to be many crises going on. But Now that that tribunal has been dealt with, I'm unsure what the next step will be. Those sins are still out, and there are the... By the way, Joey, since both of these plots, since this plot is yours also, he's looking around. You remember those women? The ones who did their little intercession? I don't see any of them, do I?
Not yet, no.
Okay. He's gonna lean in and just lean into the two of you guys and just say, I would also be cautious if you well, I know that you, Sophia, have said you have had dealings with the gods. I do not know about you, Prosperity, but if you do, be cautious. There are those in this city who apparently do not believe the gods should be consorted with, so to speak. They made their opinion very known to me after my first interaction with them.
Maybe they just like you because of your beard.
No, they seem to have nothing against me. They wished simply to warn me of the... Well, they have no love for the gods.
And like I said, maybe they wanted to warn you because they like your beard.
Ah, I misheard you. Perhaps. I do not believe there was any personal attraction between myself and them, but who knows? Their attention seemed focused in other directions. I was somewhat worried they were going to attack me, to be quite honest, when I was vocal in my support of the gods. But...
She's kind of looking. She's kind of looking at Adib, and she says, "That kind of gives me an idea that I have to work on later. I'll have to experiment with some of the arts that I learned recently."
Indeed. I'm trying to set anything on fire.
Oh, I'm no hermetic. I won't do that.
I thought the Hermetics dealt more with throwing furniture. And so on.
Either that or destroying their own chantries, from what I've heard.
Yes. Well, destructive power unchecked is rarely useful.
True.
In any case, I am somewhat tired. I have expended much energy. I will leave you two ladies, and hopefully we'll meet again sometime soon. I will let you know when I have something to report on the ring.
Thank you. And she smiles.
Okay, shall we leave it there?
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you, players for playing. Thank you, watchers, watching another episode of Chaos in London.